This is Sports Talk with Steve Jones, Seven Mountains Media Production, and we got a little bit of a special today. So we are doing a little story time with Steve. Steve, I will give it to you.
Story time with Steve.
Story time with Steve.
So last week on the, about, I don't know, we talked a little bit last week about gambling on the show, and then about 10 days ago, we really went extensively into gambling on the show. And as you were saying to me after that show, right at the end of June, that you looked around and said, yeah, I mean, the Connecticut Sun plays at the Mohegan Sun, which is right there. Well, it's not just right there. You go from the casino into the arena. You go from the casino into the arena. I've done, I think, 3 games in that arena in my career. So, 2011. Penn State plays a game at Ohio State. Wins the game, as a matter of fact. And now I've got to fly from Columbus to Hartford the next morning because I'm going to do basketball that day with South Florida in the arena. So I call up my brother, and I said, hey, you do me a favor because the airport, Bradley International, is not near Mohegan Sun. And I could take a cab or whatever, but I say, hey, can you pick me up, take me down? He says, yeah, great. In fact, I'll take Mom with us. I said, okay, great. My mom passed away about a year later after this, but all right. So I fly into Hartford, and there's 2 levels, as you know, at Bradley, upper level, lower level. I'm like, I walk out in the upper level, and I thought, I better go down to the lower level. So I go down to the lower level, and I'm waiting, and I'm the only person standing there. The only person. I see my mother's car pulled up. Oh, great. This worked out perfectly. I've only been standing here like 5-10 minutes. All good. My brother's driving. He gets to the stop sign, about maybe 30 feet from me, looks left, looks right, keeps going. Look around, what the heck's going on here? I'm the only person standing here. I mean, literally, there was nobody else there. It was 8:30 in the morning on a Sunday. So I walk out into the center of the street. He goes to the next stop sign, stops, looks left, looks right, keeps on going. I'm thinking, what the heck are these 2 doing? So they pull the car around, and finally they pull into, as you know, there's a parking garage right across the street from the terminal. And I'm looking around like, what am I going to do here? Like, game's at 1 o'clock. I'm on at 12:30. I want to get going here. And it turned out they parked the car. They come in. Hey, you're here. I'm like, what do you mean I'm here? I said, I was the guy standing there with my luggage. I said, oh, well, let's go. I said, great. So we drive down, down past Norwich. It's down between Norwich and New London, down in Uncasville. It's the Mohegan Sun. So I walk in. They said, hey, we're going to gamble for a little bit. And I said, well, okay. I said, but you know what? I said, I left you guys tickets. I said, and by the way, the other half of the doubleheader is Kentucky and Old Dominion. And this one, Kentucky had Michael Gilchrist, Anthony Davis. This was their national championship team. I said, you guys, this will be fun for you guys to watch it. Okay. So they're sitting down, and my mother was sitting there, and she's, like she has X amount. When she's done, she's done. Okay. But she's there sitting there. My brother's sitting there, and he's going through. All right, well, fine. I went into the arena. So, and then Dick Girardi and I are sitting there. We're watching Kentucky Old Dominion. All right, now it's time for our game. South Florida made the NCAA tournament that year. Penn State won the game 53-49. Game's over. I walk out. I look around. I can't find them. But I walk out before we're going to get the bus to take us back to the airport. And I find them in the casino. I said, what did you think of that game? I said, this is a close game. I said, we played pretty well down the stretch. And they both looked at me and said, no, we didn't go in. I said, I left tickets for you. They said, Well, we kind of got engrossed in in what was going on in here. I said, you got engrossed in what's going on in here? I said, I left you tickets. I said, you didn't go to the game? No. They were 50 feet away from the arena, but they didn't go into the game. And so I said, you know what? I said, that teaches me a valuable lesson. I would have gone into the game no matter what. That's just me. But there are a lot of people out there that would be like them that wouldn't go into the arena because then they get either on a roll or on a bad streak and they're trying to make it up. And that's what they're going to do. I thought, well, that's a lesson. There's a life lesson right there for me in the modern world of 2011 where, yeah, I left you tickets. Hey, this will be fun. I'm all about the game. They're all about the games. But we do mix it into the broadcast.
Yeah. You have a good time. You have a good time chatting about gambling on the broadcast.
Dick Girardi, anytime a Penn State player gets 21 or Penn State goes up by 21, blackjack, right? And I had people at a couple of the speaking stops tell me how much they get a kick out of that. Penn State's playing Texas A&M, NCAA tournament, and Andrew Funk hit another 3. And as soon as the ball went in, Dick says, and Steve Jones, that is an NCAA tournament blackjack. And I looked over at him. I shook my head. He looks back at me. He said, what? I said, no. Yes. So I turned the mics off. I said, Dick, they're up by 19.
Hey, 19's a pretty good hand to have in blackjack.
And we come back. I says, it's a 19-point game. He says, I have to admit, I got excited in the moment.
Just a bit outside.
Yeah, I said, that doggone Maryland math education is rearing its ugly head again. So there you go. Story time with Steve.
Story time with Steve today here on Seven Mountains Media.